You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/PODKATZ13. Just go to Indeed.com/PODKATZ13 right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
You're listening to the Not Busy Podcast, where we show you how to do life and business confident, focused, and with a plan so that you can make more money, have more free time, and less stress. Your host, Wayne Weathersby, will uncover actionable hacks, strategies, tips, and insights you can use today to live a better, more productive life. It's time to boost your mindset, confidence, and your attitude. Here's your host, Coach Wayne.
Today I want to hit on something pretty powerful, but often overlooked. It's the difference between decide and decision, and why one changes your life and the other one keeps you stuck. It sounds like they're the same, just two versions of the same word. But if you lean into it, you'll see this tiny shift in language could be the difference between staying stuck in someday mode and finally creating momentum in your life and your business. So I want to break it down. To decide is an action, right? That's a verb. It comes from the Latin word decidere, which means to cut off. So when you decide, you are literally cutting off other options and committing to one path forward. On the other hand, a decision is a noun. It's a thing, right? It's static. It's like paperwork sitting on your desk. It exists. But nothing happens until you take an action. So most people get excited about a decision. They write it down, they talk about it, share it on social media. But a decision without the act of deciding is just mental clutter, okay? It's another item on your someday list. That's why people say, I've decided to lose weight, but never step foot in the gym. They made a decision, but they never decided. So you see where I'm going with that? There is a difference. Here's why this distinction is critical, okay? Deciding creates motion. A decision creates an illusion. Think about how many decisions you've made in your life that never got off the ground. You decided to start a business. You decided to save money. And you decided to call that client back. But without cutting off all other options and moving forward, those decisions die in the graveyard, right? So when you decide, you close doors. You're no longer thinking about it. You're doing it. And that's uncomfortable because it removes the safety net of the backup plan. But that's where progress lives, right? Progress doesn't happen when you leave 50 doors open. Progress happens when you slam 99 of them shut and walk confidently through just the one. Let me give you some examples. Like in real estate, an agent tells me, I've decided I wanted to hit 6 figures this year. And I'll say, okay, great. But have you decided to make the calls, to go to the trainings, and to block out the distractions? The decision sounds amazing. The deciding is where the sweat is. And you can apply this to health. You can decide to eat better, but until you cleaned the junk food out of your pantry, that decision is wishful thinking. Deciding means driving past the fast food line, okay, when it's not easy. Your relationships are the same way. You can decide to be a better spouse or decide to be a better parent. But until you put the phone down and schedule some time for them and actually show up, it's not real. So the pattern's clear. Decisions sit in your head. Deciding shows up in your behavior. So why do people get, stop at decision? Okay, 2 words, fear and comfort. A decision gives you the dopamine hit of that progress without the risk, okay? You feel productive just thinking about it. Your brain's tricking you, but deciding means you're putting your reputation, time, and energy on the line. And I want you to be honest. Most people are more committed to being comfortable than successful. But here's the kicker. Nothing changes until you decide. The weight doesn't come off, the business doesn't grow, and the relationship doesn't improve. All the freaking vision boards and journals and planning sessions, they're all useless without the courage to cut off every other option and take action and move forward. And that's the challenge. So my challenge to you today, okay, and if you have to pull over and write this down, do it. Take one area of your life where you've been sitting on a decision. Maybe it's making more calls or joining a mastermind or starting a side hustle or finally tackling your health, okay? Don't just make a decision. Decide. Cut off the other plans. Burn the ships if you have to. Write it down. Say it out loud. Tell someone who will hold you accountable. What a concept. Then take one action today that proves that you've actually decided to make the change. That's how the transformational change happens. Not in decisions, but in deciding. So I'm going to close out with this. What's it going to be? Are you going to collect more decisions in a bucket and carry them around that sounds good but go nowhere? Or are you going to decide and create real change? That's the difference between busy and productive, between wishing and winning. All right? So I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you so much for tuning into the Productive Not Busy podcast. If this hits home, share it with somebody who's been sitting on the fence too long. And remember, don't just be busy, be productive, be confident, and be focused. And always have a plan. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Be safe, take care, sell a bunch, find somebody, and say something nice to them.
You've been listening to the Productive Not Busy podcast. Please hit the subscribe and notification of new episodes button and visit us on social media like Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok for bonus content.